Coming up on today's episode of Technoid, Apple looks like they might be releasing the HomePod 2 and Apple TV, whatever version they're going to call it, hopefully sometime in 2020, hopefully sooner than later, but I don't know if we're really ready for that. But more on that in this episode. Also, Samsung is working on the next gen version of the Galaxy Buds Pluses, which is really weird, but it looks very, very intriguing, and I have to say, I've got my head scratching. And also, Apple will remain closing all Apple stores until May. I will explain the details in today's episode. All of that, so stay tuned. Hey, what's up everybody? Michael here. Welcome back to Technoid. Hope you all are having an excellent day. All right, that got pretty weird. So let's just start the episode. So story number one, let's kick it up with Samsung. So the Galaxy Buds Plus have been a very well-received headphone. Not a big significant upgrade from the original, but good enough in its own rank to warrant more people to go for that one over the regular Galaxy Buds. Well, it looks like Samsung is working on the next gen version, but it actually is pretty intriguing. So according to Winds, whatever their name is, it's always in a foreign language, but I will leave the original link in the description. You can translate the article, or you can just go to Verge or whoever's going to translate this thing. But I recommend going to the original source. That's where I always believe. But they are claiming that Samsung is working on the next gen buds of the Galaxy Buds, but they will be completely different than anything you guys will ever see. And looking at their 3D renders and sketches, it looks very intriguing. So let's break it down. So according to them, Samsung is working on a codename Samsung Galaxy Buds codenamed Popcorn or Beans. Basically, it is a codename that the shape of the earbud is going to be a new design, where it won't be like an in-ear design. It will have a different way that we look at this headphone. It will be able to produce sound, but not being pushed into your earbuds. Basically, it's trying to compete on the comfort side, especially against the AirPod Pros, and also trying to be revolutionary in its own rights. There are no information on the batteries or anything of that nature, but I have to say, even though this is way early and too much way early speculations, it is very intriguing. They are claiming the serial number is provided in the article, which you can read for yourself, and honestly, I'm just being honest, it's one of those days, I'm really tired. But I have to say, Samsung Galaxy Buds are really awesome on their own rights compared to the AirPod Pros, which are also some good earbuds. But if Samsung does this, where they make a design where it fits in your ear and it doesn't even feel like there's a stem or anything, that is a revolutionary design in my opinion. Because we see these earbuds all have the same kind of design, they all have the same stem, whether it be flushed or it's in ear, it doesn't matter. But if Samsung is going for this thing where it looks like a bean and you just put it in and it works like that, that is very intriguing, and it has me scratching my head a little bit. How are they gonna pull it off? Now, before you start saying, oh, this is way too early, this is this and this is that, don't worry, it's in the first stage of the engineering team. It hasn't been approved or anything. These are just some engineering steps that they have to go through before they start giving the final design. And basically they're just testing the product out. But the idea is it will produce your low, mids, and highs with one driver, but then have an exterior, like a subwoofer kind of, for extra bass. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they pull this off. I am definitely intrigued, and I urge you guys to check it out. If you are intrigued, check it out. I mean, hey, sometimes Samsung pulls some pretty good moves, and this could be one of them. So that's it for Samsung. Let's move it on now to Apple. So continuing on Apple, we gotta get some bad news out of the way before we get to the good news. Now, as you know, the current situation of everything right now, I don't have to repeat myself. You already know how it is. Well, Apple is continuing on because they have come out and said that they are going to remain keeping the stores closed until May. Now, the reason why I am presuming they're gonna keep until May is because April is projected to be the worst month for what's happening right now, and hopefully if things start to calm down a little bit, they will be able to open up the stores and also get a little bit limited employees. But most of the employees have been working at home from what I am being told. Some of them have taken time off. Some of them are basically doing their services behind their own house in their own respective ways. So if Apple wants to open back in May, it would be more of a convenience factor because, again, they have to follow the regulations, 10 people per time in a store, and considering how many people go to the store right on Staten Island alone, yeah, you're not gonna get 10 people in there. I'm telling you right now, there's too many people. But That's the bad news. So if you have an appointment or anything you want to make with the Apple Store, keep your eye out. Try to grab a date as you can, because it's not going to be easy. And last story up, let's take a look now at the HomePod 2 and Apple TV. Now, as you know, I have been very, very vocal of the Apple TV and HomePod 2. I have talked about many times what Apple can do to improve the HomePod, what it can do to make it better, and most of all, what it can do to just turn it around. The HomePod has not been the home run success they were hoping for. The Apple TV's alright, that's why I'm not too focused heavily on that. But Apple looks like they might be releasing this follow-up to it. Now, it's been 2 years since they followed up on the HomePod. The HomePod was designed to be the best sounding smart speaker with a Siri assistant, works with Apple Music, everything, but it kind of didn't really have the home run. Well, it looks like Apple is going to release the second variant of that, hopefully a cheaper, smaller version with a few tweeters and a nice woofer, hopefully miniature size, a little bit, and probably will be priced around the $199, maybe a little bit under that mark. And the Apple TV set-top box will also be released sometime in 2020. If you want my honest opinion, when they should release these, I think WWDC would be the perfect time to release them, especially with AirTags in the name, and also you got the rumored over-ear headphones, the iPhone SE coming out. So the way I look at it, Apple's gonna release the iPhone SE in literally a week and a half or less than that. Then if you want to hold off and release other products like the MacBook and other things for May before WWDC, you can do that. I'm not saying they can't. It would make more sense for WWDC, you know, you have a few products. I think I would propose to Apple, release the HomePod, the Apple TV, because it only makes sense, because these products are getting older, and if you really want to hit them up with their software or whatever support, whatever differences you can make, WWDC would be more of a common sense thing, I would say. And then you got your headphones, AirTags. So basically, it will be like kind of like what the March event should have been, but focusing on the software as well. But that's just wishful thinking. That's not realistic. And that's it for today's episode of Technoid. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'm not closing the show out. Come on in.
Don't worry, my brother. You're gonna enjoy me doing the show with you. Hey, don't worry, everybody. He told me I could close the show out for him. So that's it for today's episode, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, hit that like button. If you disliked the video, hit that dislike button. It works as well. Everybody, hope you all keep safe, keep in self-control. Have a great day, everybody, and peace. Hey, where you going now? Here, come on, let me tell you some stories. You know, back in my day, we never had any of this whole jungle.